Giving thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life, Haile Selassie the first, the emperor of all. And the question, where shall I go? Well, you know where to go. You got all the information there a moment ago. I'm talking about Youth University every Monday at 4 p.m. Bring the youths and come, and this is hosted by the youths themselves, the Honorable Princess Akesha Menin, the Honorable Prince Alamase, right here talking about on the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge Media Arm, Radio Anu, the international flavor, the universal spice. You know how to get there. The link is in the description below. Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge. Yes, Youth University. And for sure, the program that we're going to bring to you right now, we're going to be talking a bit about the Masonic organization known as the Knights of the Temples of Solomon. And we're going to be going into a bit of their history, a bit of their foundation. And of course, you know, they would have gone missing as such, gone underground. And we're going to show you exactly what they are, who they are, and how you could identify them today. And even when they went underground, how they, you know, emerged, and how you could identify the people and the organizations that they emerged as. But anyway, all of this is in preparation for Fairy Tale Folly Days and Nursery Crimes, the Firing Squad edition, which is Wednesday. I hope you have your tickets ready. And if it's not the fairy tales you're coming to, well, the Santa Claus Massacre, I hope you have your tickets ready. If you're not coming to the Santa Claus Massacre and you're coming to Haile Selassie, Rastafari, and Freemasonry, you don't know what to do. Just visit the website and all your purchases can be made there. And remember, if you're coming to all three events, there will be a special price towards that one, you know, complete all-inclusive ticket there. So it is 3 massive lectures for those who do not know that we're doing during the Yuletide season. They're coming to season up black people and throw you in the pot. You better believe that. But for sure, we have the remedy for all of that foolishness. You know, we have the defense for all of that onslaught of corruption they're going to be throwing on us. For sure, we're talking about, again, 3 dynamic lectures, and I'll be telling you more about that as we go into the program. Also, let me just tell you quickly, when you go into the area marked the shop, well, for now, we're just doing a bit of reconstruction. I see you have our merch, like our merchandise, but when you come to the website, you go into the area, it will be marked shop, and that brings you to our store, you know, and we'll have the different items, of course, from our books and of course our video documentaries, etc., etc. Well, I just want to highlight to you our garments, because there is a way where you could get a free Tiger's Nest t-shirt. Oh yeah, for free. All right, how is that going to happen? Well, once you would be enrolling yourself or your young ones in our international homeschool program, all of this can be done on the website. And once you're doing this before the 2nd of January, and you may ask, what's so important about the 2nd of January? How dare you ask such a question? Well, the 2nd of January, of course, will be my solar return, my Earth Day, and we'll be having a grand celebration right here on the Priest Isaac, at the Priest Isaac's Institute of Holistic Knowledge, specifically on Radio Anu. Whoa, yeah, man, we'll be having a wonderful time. But this special offer will end on 10/23. I'm talking about on the 2nd of January. So you should take advantage of this offer now. So even by then, you'll have your Tiger's Nest shirt. That's for free, eh? We ship it to you for free. So if you order it now, by the 2nd, you will have your shirt for free. Well, let me not speak for the shipping agency, for sure, but definitely it will surely be on the way, and that will be grand that you could celebrate with us even in that form or that fashion. Now, the international homeschool program is definitely something that you would really appreciate as a part of your whole family structure for yourself or your young ones. And of course, it's very economical. We already have that under special. As you see, it was $300 for the whole academic year. That's a whole year, 300, and that's slashed to 200, and it's still 200. And when you pay for that 200, you get a free Tiger's Nest shirt. Now, what more? can you ask than that? You can get it in any color, black, yellow, white, whatever the case is, with or without the stripes. And all of this is the works of the Honorable Prince Alamasi. All right. In fact, a lot of what you're looking at here, even the designs and the posters, a lot of it is the work of the Honorable Prince. So come and visit our store, our merchandise area, our shop, and, you know, browse it, and you can shop as well and get things that will definitely, you know, add to you. And well, we have some specials for the second, but I'm not going to release all of that as yet. We'll tell you as the days go along. Okay, so as I said, you see, this is really in preparation for Wednesday, because Wednesday lecture is going to be nice. And I just, as I said before, we have been doing the fairy tale holidays and nursery crimes series for a while now, for a good while. So we always have a new lecture as it relates to that and the Santa Claus massacre. But, you know, because it's so much information, you don't want to keep revisiting the same thing. So a lot of ones who have been following us over the years, they know that every time we come, it's something new that we add to the slate. And of course, this time is not going to be any different. That is why you cannot miss these lectures here. So added to this now, fairy tale holidays and nursery crimes, the reason why we have initiated these prep lectures is so that we can get you ready for the online lecture. So what we're doing now is getting you ready for Wednesday night. So although we may somewhat mention what we are going to speak of tonight, Wednesday night, but if we mention this Wednesday night, we would just gloss over it because we're taking the time now to go into it now. Now, I just want to basically highlight to those who may not know who the Knights of the Templars are, the Knights of the Temple of Solomon, and a bit of their history, a bit of their persecution, how they got lost in history, how they emerged again in a very hidden and covert fashion, and how they are still influencing us up to today. That's basically the whole moral of the story that I'm going to tell now. So look forward for that at the end of it. That is what you're supposed to get. Now, of course, you would hear of the Knights of the Temples of Solomon, and they are considered to be, you know, a brand of masonry from its origin as such, wherein they are built off of just what I said, the Temple of Solomon. You know, the Temple of Solomon in the Bible is said to be this temple that was built without sound, and it is said to have the great hierophany where it aligns with the movements of the heavens, etc., etc. So there's so many secrets and hidden codes inside of the Temple of Solomon. Then you know of the story of Hiram Abiff. And Hiram Abiff was one of the great architects and builders and foremen on the whole Temple of Solomon. And Hiram Abiff was attacked and beaten down by some of the individuals that worked with him, his subordinates. And they were the ones that, you know, they attacked him with certain, what you would call instruments, like the mallet and the square, etc., etc. And Hiram Abiff died and eventually resurrected under the acacia tree. And, you know, he resurrected with the lion paw. All of this is a part of the story. Now, what I'm saying is that because he was beaten down with the instruments, you know, the mallet and the square, if you notice, the compass and the square are used very richly in Freemasonry. Now, one of the things that stand out is the whole Kabbalah. You know, the Kabbalah really is the science which is said to be related to the tree of life and the solar system, and the book, the Kabbalah. Many have referred to it as a Jewish magic system, and the Jewish magic book is not necessarily related to the Jewish people as you know them, but the ancient African science, as we were speaking about yesterday, as it relates to the chi and the gathering of the chakra, the tree of life meditational system, like our good brother spoke of. What's the name of the brother again, Princess, that wrote the book? Ra'unefer Amen, who wrote the book, The Tree of Life Meditational System, basically is what has been corrupted into what the Western world will bring to us in their form of the Kabbalah, you know, but the Ka and the Ba, it's still there, and Allah, all of it is our good stuff put together, Kaaba and Allah. So really now, this ancient science, the Tree of Life meditational system, and the same Kabbalah science and the esoteric understanding, what people may call the occult, is something that was gathered by the Europeans. And this is just reality. When they came into ancient Kemet, I think we all know that, you know, the father of history of the Greeks and Roman father of history, and Thales and Herodotus and Pliny and all of these fellas, when they came into Kemet, and some of them never really went thus far, they just wrote it in their annals, yeah. But when they said they came into Kemet, they sat at the feet of the masters, they sat at the feet of the high priest, and they learned of the ancient order, they learned of the ancient teachings, they learned of the ancient scriptures, they even learned of the ancient magic, science, the Heka, and again, the Tree of Life meditational system, a lot of things which they applied. When you see them create their own pantheon of gods, it is mimicking the ancient, Enad that they saw in Kemet, the Medunetta that they saw in Kemet, and they went and fashioned their own understanding of a creator. That's why Zeus and all of these fellas were originally black. So I'm showing to you now, in the same way that they have done that, it's all about stealing, eh? That's why they have so many stellars, obelisks that they have stolen. You better believe it. So with the understanding now, just more stealing again, that ancient book, the ancient science of the Kabbalah, it is said through their history that there was an individual by the name of Isaac the Blind who was preserving this knowledge. And 9 French monks stole this science from him. And this is said to be the origin or the foundation of what would eventually become the Knights of the Templars, or the Knights of the Temples of Solomon. Now, the science within the book, the Kabbalah science, or the science, the natural mathematics of the Tree of Life science, the science of the hidden messages, the science of decoding or coding, the science of the esoteric, the science of the metaphysics, the science of the cosmos, all of that is here. This science is what is said to have nourished the 9 monks, which became a kingdom amongst themselves as such, known again as the Knights of the Templars, or the Knights of the Templars of Solomon. They became so grand as a people, as a nation, and as an army. They would assist other nations in fighting battles. In fact, Graham Hancock, just to show you how grand they came, that Graham Hancock, in his book, The Fingerprints of the Gods, even went as far as to pass his place, to be insinuating that these Knights of the Temples of Solomon were the individuals that built the Lalibela churches. A very crazy and out of way, assumption to make, but just to show you the kind of light people have them in as, superhero fashion. They could have never done that like that. Some people even believe that they are the protectors of the Ark of the Covenant. Again, the Knights of the Temples of Solomon, or the Knights Templars. So they went through their own persecution as they became very strong and became very powerful. And around 1300 or 13, I think it's about 1313 or 1314, the Knights of the Temple of Solomon was dealt a very terrible blow. And that was with the murder of their leader, who went down in history to be the 23rd Grand Master of the Knights of the Temples of Solomon. And he is the one known as Jacques de Molay. And Jacques de Molay, along with other members of the Knights of the Temples of Solomon, as they call themselves, they have nothing to do with Solomon. They don't even know who Solomon is. They're just playing with this stuff, but just by name, Knights of the Temples of Solomon. Still, they specifically are the Knights Templars. They were burnt at the stake. Some of the chief representatives, specifically with the leader, Jacques de Molay, they were burnt at the stake in the 1300s. Now, all of this was done by the Roman Church at the time. At the time, the Pope was Pope Urban, and the King of France. These were the ruling power at the time. Philippe IV, if I'm not mistaken, of France, and Pope Urban V of the Pope Church, the Roman Church. So they were the ones that were persecuting the Knights of the Templars. For whatever reason, they did not like the power that they were gaining. They did not like the wealth that they were acquiring. They did not, it was all about the knowledge too. they had the secrets of the esoterics. They had the secrets of the astronomy. Remember, this is all stolen knowledge too, coming from the ancient African, North African science. So it's not as if they were just divinely blessed, but they had the secrets. Remember, their origin was thievery. Remember, the 9 monks stole the science of the Kabbalah from Isaac the Blind. Remember, this is the ancient science again that the Europeans came out of Africa with. So this science made them rich. See, we don't understand the power of what we have, you know. The science of the truth made them wealthy, made them rich, made them a threat, made them a powerful kingdom. You understand, to the point that their own brothers, his brothers they are, the Pope of Rome and the King of France, fought against them to the point that they killed their leader and the rest of them had to run underground. I'm talking about the Knights of the Templars of Solomon. This is why you have individuals like Robert the Bruce. That's why, as we explained a few evenings ago, this is why Robert the Bruce and these individuals are deified, because they would have assisted in securing and preserving not just the Knights of the Templars when they were running from the Roman Pope and the France king, the King of France, the French king, but he would have not just preserved them, but in preserving them, he would have preserved the order. Listen to me good. In preserving them, he would have preserved the order. He would have preserved their system. He would have preserved their banner. He would have preserved their culture. He would have preserved their custom. So that is why he himself, the Robert the Bruce, is preserved in the whole science of Batman. So how it reached so far? Because the people that we consider the Knights of the Templars, as I said, they're still around. They still control the entertainment industry. I'm telling you, with the science that they've learned, they still control the music industry, television, the internet, news. Trust me, don't make them fool you. Remember, the Kabbalah is said to be a Jewish magic book, you know. Propaganda. Listen, just follow me, man. I'm going to prove all of this, what I'm saying to you right now. So this is why, again, remember, you know, the importance of the craft, the importance of the craft. Which craft? The craft that the Knights of the Templars held, which is the art of the Gothic style of building. The Gothic style of building. So this is why the Gothic style of building is very important, you know. That is why all museums, not museums, well, museums too, but colleges and universities and museums have these Greek pillars, and you have to pass through Doris and Corinth because of the importance of the Gothic art, from your Statue of Liberty to your Washington Tower and Lincoln Monument and all of that. Gothic art, the hidden science, all sorts of messages and coded messages in the building structure itself. And this was the art thereof, very important. So if just follow me good, according to history, the Templars, because of strong persecution, had to run underground. Go and read your history. Because of strong persecution, the Templars went underground. They had to hide and run. From the time they roast down Jacques de Molay, the rest that was alive ran away because they didn't want to go on no barbecue pit. So they went underground. People like the Bruce protect them and keep them. But what I'm saying is now they didn't disappear. They didn't die. They surfaced again. But you see, remember, these are the masters of disguise. That is why they disguise all the people that they want to deify under some other form. These superheroes that they invent, is masks they put on to disguise themselves. So the Knights of the Templars, those who learned this knowledge, the same ancient tree of life knowledge that they got when they were very few, and they have grown now into a kingdom and a nation over decades and a couple hundreds of years. They had the science. They know how to disguise themselves. They know how to come under a pseudonym and a pseudo character. Obviously. So watch me good, family. Watch me good. When Mr. Martin Luther arose, he's considered to be the great reformer, isn't he? Follow me, man. And he's considered to be the father of the Protestants, the Protestants church. That's why they call the Protestants, because they were protesting against Rome. Now, why would churches rise up and protest against Rome? Because Rome was persecuting them. Huh? Yeah, just so. Let me show you, family. This is what I'm trying to show you. When you have Martin Luther rising up, remember he went as far as to marry a nun. You can't protest more than that against the Roman Catholic industry or the Roman Catholic Church. You understand? So he is the father of the Protestants. What are the Protestants? You have the Anglican, for sure. Anglican is like the daughter. You have the Wesleyan, you have the Methodist, you have the Moravian. All of these churches that are not really Roman Catholic churches protested against Rome. They're all babies of Rome. All of them say the same Jesus. Now mind them, all of them are Roman churches, but they just kind of have a little problem with their daddy or their mommy, however you go, and or whatever, mommy or daddy, because they don't even know what they are. They're so funny. Martin Luther, now remember, Martin Luther, this is in the 1400s. When was Jacques de Molay murdered? In the 1300s. Martin Luther came around in the 13 and 1400s, and he raised the Protestants, the organization that is protesting against the same people that killed Jacques de Molay and have the Knights of the Templars hiding. Follow me, family. Then you have this big belly fella. You have Henry VIII. I don't know, that came out. Just, man, you know, he's in the mind, so it came out the mouth. Henry VIII of England. So his time is around the same time, maybe around where we are, 1400s or so. Right. He is the father of the Anglican because he couldn't marry a next woman. How the story? He had one woman and wanted the next woman, and some woman couldn't have no baby.
Yeah, he had 6 wives.
He had 6 wives.
Yes, the first was Catherine of Aragon, who gave birth to Mary I. Next is Anne Boleyn, who had a daughter named Elizabeth.
Okay.
She was found guilty of cheating and was beheaded.
Okay, see a whole heap of story there, a lot of mayhem and killing. So he changed the English worship of the Roman church worship and made up his own stuff. So all of you who are Anglican, Henry V, who wanted to have more wives, is the father of the Anglican church. So the Anglican church was founded on an English king wanted to have more than one wife. Is more than one wife or to have 6 wives or how you?
Yes.
Right, okay. So I'm just showing you the history. I'm not lying on Henry V or the 8th. I'm not lying on him. Okay, good. But what I'm trying to show you here is this. Is all of this rebellion to Rome. Follow me, family. This rebellion to Rome by Rome's brother, because all of them is brothers. No matter Cold War America against Russia, they're brothers fighting one another. And because of that, we're not even sure if they're really fighting. They may send the minions to fight, but the bigger fellas in the background counting the money. So anyway, on both sides I'm talking. Almost a different lecture altogether. But anyway, just meditate the same time that you have this great protesting against the Roman church is the same time or just slightly after the knights have disappeared. Where did they go? And they have murdered their grandmaster, locking off the whole knights thing. That's why it came to an end. That was the last grandmaster, you know, so technically the Knights of the Garter stuff came to an end, technically. But it didn't come to an end. I am saying it didn't come to an end, and they kept it alive, but they came under a new name. They came under a new identity. And just like how we can figure out Jacques de Molay, not Jacques de Molay, but what's his name? Bruce Wayne is Robert de Bruce. The same way we can figure out that Chip and Dale is Chip and Dale, and all of these things we do is the same way that we can stay right here in the Tiger's Nest and show you who the Knights of the Templars of Solomon are today. First of all, their style of building is the Gothic style of building. The Anglican churches all over the world, even right here in Antigua, you go and look at them. The style of building is the Gothic style of building. Remember, the Anglican church are the Protestants. The Anglican church are those who protested against Rome. Just not too long after Rome ran the Knights of the Temples of Solomon underground and killed their leader. What is the trademark of the Knights of the Templars? The Gothic style of building, outside of their banner and their red cross, which we will get to, but the style of building that they promote, the Gothic. That's why we show you Gothland is Scotland, you know. Scotland, the Gothic, you know, Scotland, the Gothic is Gothland. Batman is the king of Gothland, great Scots Batman. I tell you, holy smokes. All right, maybe I need some holy smokes to get my tongue straight there. So what I'm showing you now, when you observe, again, the Anglican, the Protestants, all of them, their style of building is the same as that of which is promoted in the craft of the Knights of the Templars. You look at this church here, you see this look like one of Thomas Chippendale's furniture in stone form, because it's all the same. You comprehend? So what is happening here now is that they did not disappear. Because look at the banner of the Knights of the Templars, and you could obviously see that the banner of the Knights of the Templars, the red cross, it has different variations of it, or versions of it. That's one here on his chest, and you still see the banner there. The Knights of the Templars, the red cross. Now, the red cross is the blood and the cross. The red cross represents the rose and the cross. Now, they have organizations today that stand out with the same red cross. I'm telling you, they are offshoots of the Masonic principles of the Knights of the Temples of Solomon that went underground and disappeared, and nobody knows where they went. Yet still the style of building that they possess can be seen in Protestant churches today, who protested against Rome in the same time when the Knights of the Templars were sent underground, and Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master, was killed. Follow it. So the rose and the cross is the Rosicrucian, Christ on the cross and bleeding on the cross and the thorns around his head. He's the living rose. The rose on the cross is the red cross, the bleeding cross. See here, this is the Rosicrucian. So the Rosicrucian organization, although there are many variations of them, we just met a few the other day who consider themselves of the Yoruba sort of persuasion, but yet
one of them is the high priest of the Santeria.
He was
the temple is at
right, the high priest of the Santeria, and yet still they were Rosicrucian. So obviously there are different variants of them, but that doesn't take away from the fact that we're dealing with the rose and the cross. Rosicrucian, rose and cross, red cross, the blood cross, Rosicrucian, rose and cross. So the Rosicrucians are in some way or form linked to the ancient Knights of the Templars. All the churches, whatsoever they are, once they're protesting against Rome and they're building in the Gothic style, even them corner churches that just build a little 4x4 little hut, they may not have no Gothic style building, but it's the same Protestants watered down to the point that they don't have no Gothic style. They just have some 4x4 and a little door, and they come in and go out. Now, but it's all right. We know the origin of it all. It comes from the Protestants who were protesting, who were running for their lives. Look at this now. This is the Knights of the Garters, the Knights of the Templars flag. And we could still say Knights of the Garter because this is the English flag. Follow me good, all of you in England. You know, you drive up and down England, you see enough people have this flag hang outside of their windows from their flat. Now look at the Knights of the Templars flag and look at the English flag. Look at that. All you have to do is add the blue triangles and you can see it's the same thing, because it's red blood and blue blood. And then they added some more red to it too. I don't know if it's to take you off track or whatever, because this is the English flag somewhere around 1700 to 1800s. You understand? So when you understand this science, family, it is the same thing. It is the same people.
So in the time of people like Henry V, the English flag actually looked like this before they added all the blue stuff and more red. That's how the English flag used to look.
Positive. So you can see the transformation. So it's oneness, family. There's no difference. Look at this flag here. Now, if I may ask you, which flag is this? You may say, well, this may be the Knights of the Garter, or this is the Knights of the Templars. No, this is the Red Cross. Yeah, we can see, but whose flag is it? No, Red Cross. I mean, Red Cross, like the Red Cross. And then now when you go into the history of Red Cross, that's very, if we really go into the depths of the history of Red Cross, some of the things that the economic hitman, John Perkins, have told us about the Red Cross, and the former CIA agent, John Stockwell, he has some things to say about the Red Cross and their implementation or implications or their involvement, looking for the right word, in specific coups in Central America. If you were to take their word for it as truth, you would have to consider what the Red Cross is really all about. You know, people still blaming the Red Cross for all the money that was taken up, you know, during the time of the Haiti earthquake, and still not even accounted for. So, I mean, we can go deep into that, but the point is, it's a Red Cross. It's a Red Cross. It's a Red Cross. Rosicrucian, it's a Red Cross. The Knights of the Templars, it's a Red Cross. So they have not disappeared. They have not gone underground. Just like all the superheroes they have created, they are masters of disguise. And their influence is extremely strong, not just in religion and obviously in politics, but in the psychology, even as it relates to entertainment, and yes, even the cartoons and what is happening in the minds of our children. So this is why even this little presentation is just a foundation. It's a preparation for those of you who will be with us on Wednesday, which should be everybody. I don't know who's going to miss this. I'm talking about Wednesday, 7 p.m. sharp. It will be available. This is the next upcoming online lecture, Fairy Tale Folly Days and Nursery Crimes, the Firing Squad edition. And remember, the night after that, we're going straight for the Jugular Vein, Santa Fraud Massacre, Santa Claus Massacre, pardon me, total annihilation, I'm telling you. And then, of course, the Sunday evening, this is the granddaddy of them all. Don't take this lecture simpler. Haile Selassie, Rastafari, and Freemasonry. I'm talking about 3 dynamic online lectures, family, over the Yuletide season, as they call it. Definitely to ward off all of them evil, wicked sleigh bells that they'll be throwing around the place. We'll be definitely firing back in higher chord. So as I said, this was just a prep. And we have a few more preps for you, prepping you for Wednesday evening. You don't know what to do. We already gave you all the instructions. All you got to do is visit the website. Remember, the link is in the description below. So we're talking about priestisaacinstitute.com, or you can email us priestisaacinstitute@gmail.com, or as I said, visit the website, visit the lecture hall, and you can make your purchases right there. And remember, of course, the International Home School special that we have where we could get a brand new, free, high quality Tiger's Nest t-shirt to you and your family. What a joy that will be. Hey, listen, it's all about sharing love and joy here. Remember to keep the 2nd of January in mind. That is when we will be celebrating our Earth Strong. Hopefully you'll be celebrating with us. Give thanks to the life giver and the keeper of life. Just reminding you again of the Tiger's Nest this evening, 7 p.m. sharp. Radio Anu, make sure you're there. And of course, I know you all will be there at 4 p.m. for Youth University. Holy Emmanuel I, Selassie I, Jah, Rastafari. You see how many things we have to offer here? This is a real university. Blessed love.